Yo, it's good, guys. It's Beach. I'm finally back, and I'm going to start posting regularly again. I got back from Rolls, and I was super sick, and my nose was super stuffy, so every time I would record, it would just... that was all you would hear, and, so we're good. As for the title and thumbnail, no, I'm not quitting RoCkEt League, and I don't think... it's really easy to quit a game like this because it's so unique, and it's so much fun. But this video is going to be mostly a discussion video talking about what I'm going to be doing with RoCkEt League in the future, as well as... after playing this game for 2 years now, almost, what I would change in this game, what I would want to see fixed, because this game is so good, this game is so unique. I have a lot of passion for this game. Some of the most fun that I've had playing games was with friends in this game, or just even solo queuing was a blast a lot of the times. So it's gonna be mostly a discussion video. We're gonna talk about what I would do to fix this game, and also what I would like in the comments is tell me what you would do to fix this game. But also tell me if you have any videos ideas for me. We'll kind of transition into what I'm going to be posting and doing with RoCkEt League. But if you have any videos ideas for me, I would gladly post them, educational or not. I would love to post whatever I can in RoCkEt League. I love playing this game. I love getting on it. So for me in RoCkEt League, I've hit SSL. I will not be sweating this game. I'm going to be sweating Valorant. However, I still am going to be trying in this game. There's a few goals that I have in mind. I want to be a little bit more of a freestyler. I still want to climb ranks. I want to try to hit SSO while going for clips. Obviously, that's not super realistic, but we're going to try our best. I'm also going to be queuing all 3 modes, and I'll be making videos on all 3 modes. 3s, 2s, 1s. I'll be making a video on all of those. I will still be coaching RoCkEt League. Join my Discord for the coaching information. I also, if anybody is out there, this is kind of a call for help. If anybody knows how to join teams or anything like that, I want to join a team and try to go and see how far I can go in RLCS open quals, understanding that I might not make it that far, but I want to be competitive on that aspect, and I want to see what I can do, right? I just want to see what I can do this year. It might be a lot of fun to try, so I want to give it my best effort, best shot. So that's kind of where I see myself for RoCkEt League. I don't really ever see myself quitting. I'll always play this game for fun with friends, if it's not a competitive game for me anymore, but I still see myself being competitive, maybe just a little bit less, where I don't have, I don't really worry about a set goal, right? So that's pretty much where I'm gonna go with RoCkEt League. I'm still really excited. There's still a future for me in RoCkEt League. I'll still be posting it. I'm gonna try to post it weekly, at least. I'll be posting coaching videos as well. So let's now talk about what I would do to fix this game. Again, it's mostly a discussion video. I'm not going to be gameplaying. This might not be your type of video. Next one might be a gameplay or coaching. I'm not too sure, but we will be posting a lot more regularly. And then I'll also start posting Valorant content in between. However, let's talk about what I do to fix this game. And it's a lot of little things in my opinion. And let's kind of just talk about why. The main reason RoCkEt League is in the state that it is because it's been out for what? I don't know, 8 to 10 years, something like that. Everybody has either heard of what RoCkEt League is or has played it and quit. And that goes for a lot of the games that have been out for so long. Overwatch is a great example. League of Legends is also a great example. What you need, though, in a game like this is a reason to bring those old players back. Or to have somebody, or to have someone new try it, right? But if you have those old players coming back, you will have new players coming in because old players will be talking about it. What does World of Warcraft do? They come out with expansions, right? They come out with new mobs, they come out with new raids, they come out with new dungeons. What does Overwatch do? New heroes, new maps. What does Valorant do? New heroes, new maps. What does League of Legends do? They change the map every year, and they do their best to balance over there. I've been kind of like watching. But all these games do something to bring players back. This game does nothing to bring old players back. Nothing at all. If you've played the game and you've hit SSL, or you've felt like you've done your thing, there's no reason for you to come back to this game. The only thing that keeps players going is this right here. Obviously, the game can be fun for players, do not get me wrong, but the only reason players are going to be coming back is this right here, is rank system. They want to achieve some goal in rank, whether it's champ, whether it's diamond, whether it's grand champ, whether it's SSL. Players play this game for this specific reason. There's no other reason that the game gives you to play the game. It's pretty bad. We'll talk about kind of ideas, what I would like to do to bring players back, and I guess we can kind of talk about it here. We'll talk about it actually in a second. So, I mean, it's just like, it's up to the players to have fun on the base game, and that's it. The rank system is terrible, and I say that simply for the reason because let's look at the rank system really fast. It's a +9, -9 system, and I want you to follow me. If you win the game, you get 9 MMR. If you lose the game, you lose 9 MMR. Maybe if your opponents are slightly higher, you might gain 9 or gain 10. Maybe if your opponents are slightly lower and you lose, you might not lose 10. There's no other game out there like this, and that's why it's so bad. If I win into gold, from gold 3 to platinum, and I lose 3 games, I then have to win 3 games to get back into platinum. Versus other games where if I win into platinum, there's a threshold, like a barrier, where I won't actually lose any MMR. They will take no MMR from me because they realize I'm in a slightly higher rank and I'm adjusting. This game says, screw you, go back to gold. Also, with that said, there's no Smurf queue, so which means if you're on a big win streak, you're not going to play higher level players, and you're not going to get more MMR. If you're on a lose streak, you're not going to lose more MMR, and you're not going to play against lower players. You're just out to survive for yourself. Also, it's... There's no top 500. There's nothing to compete for. Obviously, I know these players up here want to hit... I don't know why I'm using this rumbles, but these players want to hit the highest level. Like, sure, some of these guys want to hit the top 10, but once you get to bottom of the SSL, you kind of realize how unrealistic top of SSL is, and that's kind of why I stopped. It's still a possibility, don't get me wrong, for the everyday person. However, they need to make SSL is great. They need to make a top 500 per region or something. Bottom of SSL is still too far away from top of SSL. And I don't think they should have SSL 1, 2, 3. I think it should be SSL and then like top 500 per region. This rankery system needs a big revamp. Maybe make an extra rank in between platinum, diamond. Make something a little bit different. It's just kind of a really bizarre rank system, and the way the ranks disperse as well, like how many people, like the rank distribution, it's pretty bizarre as well if you look at it on RL tracker. And I also think too, this would be super cool to have unique titles for 1s, 2s, and 3s. If I get into a game and I load in, completely lost, shares my title, but make it so there's a GC 1s, 2, and 3s title and SSL 1s, 2, 3s title. Have unique titles. It's not that hard. It's really not. I'm sorry. It's so easy to name a title and put it into the game for them, and they refuse to do that. I'm not streaming, but Chase, thank you so much for the follow. I am not streaming, but I appreciate you a lot. So this is what I would talk about in terms of bringing players back. This is about an idea I've thought about probably for the past 6 months. But I would love a mode where we click here and we go into competitive. These are taken out. These modes are completely removed. And there's one mode down here. And it's just, I don't know what you would call it. It's not up to me because it's never probably going to be implemented, but it's 2v2 and it's the top 20 community voted workshop maps. Those random Lethamyr maps that you see in YouTube videos, all of those things put into one mode and you just get a random map out of 20. And it's also on console because they could code in those specific maps into here if they wanted to do so. You would get your own custom title. Or if you want to take all of these modes out and put one mode in at a time, make it a rotating game mode. Rotating one of these game modes isn't enough. You need to rotate something in. Rotate Heatseeker in. I don't care. Put something in here with unique titles and you get a GC title. Like, even give a champ title out. Give a champ title out, give a GC title out, give an SSL title out. My perfect mode, though, would be the top 20 community voted maps on 2v2. That would be so much fun. I also thought of another fun mode that you could do where it was like, it was 2v2 and you guys would load into like lab maps with like the game would just give you random presets on items that you don't even have, just random stuff, and you would like play for an item, stuff like that, and it'd be ranked. I just think that would, I mean, alone I would grind the hell out of a mode of 2v2 of random workshop maps, and giving console players that choice as well. I could promise you their player base would almost double for a little bit, and that's all you want. You just want it to double for a little bit. I could almost promise you that would double that, double the player base for a little bit. Another thing, the seasons make no fucking sense. I'm sorry. The seasons don't make any sense at all. The themes break incredibly fast in these seasons. Like, yes, I get it. There's like, this one's supposed to be like wilderness / campfire. What is this? What am I looking at? What am I staring at? Why are my eyes shown this? Why do my eyes have to bleed? That's like, some of it again makes sense. What are you? What am I looking at? Why do we have ectoplasm in like the flashlight? Kind of makes sense for the camping theme, right? For the wilderness. But what does ectoplasm have to do with anything? What am I looking at? This is pretty cool. Sure. What is this? What are we doing? Which hat? Because it's why? Because it's Halloween. I don't even know what I'm looking at here. This makes no sense. There's no theme. The whole theme about this was wilderness. And sure, there's like spooky monsters, but it's like put bears or something in there. Like make it make sense, please, bro. Like let's look at the tournament rewards. Why does this have nothing to do with wilderness? Like Halloween, cool. Make the Halloween items completely special and unique to themselves. Like, the themes make no sense. What I would do if I was an RL dev, let's say Texas for Worlds. I would say, hey, we have Worlds in Texas. Let's use those landmarks in Texas to create multiple stadiums in Rocket League. And it's kind of like sneak previews of Worlds. And then let's be proud of the work that we do and force the players to play on those maps. This is a good map. The one that they released this season is a good map. But let's make Worlds, like imagine Paris. Imagine Worlds is in Paris and you can play like under the Eiffel Tower. And then they have one in I don't know Paris very well, but they have like these very pretty rivers. You're playing above a river with scenery around you. Something cool like that. That would be so sick. Even make a meme map like where it's like still a standard map, but like you're inside of like pastries or something around you. Something like French pastries. Like sneak previews, stuff like that. Like make it so cool. Like this is a cool map. This shows you how good of detail they can put into the game. They're just choosing not to. And also, if you're a video game company and you're making new work, make the higher level players use it to showcase. Like these, not those lab maps, I'm sorry, but a lot of these new maps that were added, you don't even see in ranked anymore. Like this one, I don't see in ranked. This one I don't see in ranked. This one I don't see in ranked. This one I don't see in ranked. They're not proud of the work. This one I don't see in ranked. They're not proud of the work that they do, and that's the problem. Like this map is cool as can be, bro. They have a nice lake, and on high quality, this looks really clean. Even now they have light reflections. Like that shows you that they're able to do things. They don't do it. And now with that said, they're not proud of the work that they do. And you have to be proud of the work that you do as a video game company. And that starts with taking accountability for when you mess up. If you mess up as a company, you can revert changes. Get your community's input. Anyway, let's move on to the quality of life stuff that I'd implement. I've already kind of stressed some of it. Number one is servers. You have to fix their servers. Their servers suck. They have, I don't know. I think it's like 50 different servers, which makes no sense. Why would a company have 50 different servers? I could queue, let's say I queue East here, right? I could queue into Florida, I could queue into Maine, I could queue into Tennessee, right? I could queue into like, and Tennessee isn't even East. I could queue a West server, it could be in Alaska, it could be in New Mexico, it could be in Colorado. Like, that doesn't make sense. Make 2 strong servers on the each side of the country, or like for each one of these, make 1 or 2 really strong servers that are close to each other, so it's consistent. I could load into an East Coast game and have 50 ping, or I could load into an East Coast game and have 120 ping. I could load into a US Central and have 30 ping, or I could have, there's one down in like South America. I mean, I think that is South America or like Central America, but there's one down in like South America. It makes no sense. Have 1 or 2 really strong servers that are close to each other, so there's consistency. It's a little bit ridiculous. Now, with that said, desync is an issue. If you've gotten a reset and your car just flips 1,000 times over and then you like magically are on the ground, that's kind of the server. That's kind of the issues that they're having. I might put for the lower players that don't go for resets a lot, I might put that on the screen for you guys so you can kind of see what I'm talking about. It happens to higher level players. Huh? What is happening? Now let's talk about items. These items, let's go into the item shop. What item would anybody buy here? Maybe this is kind of cool. Actually, this item might be kind of cool. Maybe this item's kind of cool. This is actually the first decent item shop I've seen in probably ages. My point is, have community members that are respected, or content creators or pros, test out items and make sure they feel good to use. Like, there is so much potential in this game, and the items are so bad. Like, I would never use a lot of these items here. I seriously would not. And the issue is, like, you look at these, some of these are cool, some of these aren't. I don't know. Again, I wouldn't use a lot of these items. Like, let's go to blueprints just to look at items. I only have 76, but... like, have somebody test that, or have somebody test one of the cars. I don't know. Some of these cars just feel terrible to use. Have community members test the items out and fix them. Content creators, whoever you might be. I don't know. You can fix them. You can have people test on your game. All the other games, Overwatch, League of Legends, and Valorant, all have PBEs, which are, what is it? Public build environment or something, like public test environment. So basically, content creators or respected members of the community could go in, test the items, and say, hey, this is bad, or hey, this is good. And yes, that's more so for balancing. Do the same thing for the items in the game. These items are the only thing that keeps this game going. They should matter. They should feel good to use. Something that I would love for ranked is you go here, and there's a button that says add as epic friend share, report, block, and then a fourth button that says avoid teammate. You get, just like Overwatch. Overwatch has this exact thing, and I think it's needed in this game a lot, and it would decrease toxicity by a lot. You need to have an avoid teammate button, and how this button works is you get 3 avoids. So if I click avoid, 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 I can no longer avoid anybody for the next week, except there would be a button, let's say, like right here, like nice and small, like right here up in my top right. I press the button and it shows me my avoid list, and I can take those people off and I can put new people on if I so please. And what this, I used to use it for Overwatch, and it wasn't because I was toxic. Maybe this person is having a terrible day and I was like, man, I just don't want to get him on my team. Avoid. And then maybe somebody's toxic, I'm like, okay, avoid. And then when I start my next grind, I just take all 3 off. I have not had to talk to them at all. I didn't have to get them on my team. There was no toxicity because I could just secretly avoid them. They don't know. Simple as that. And you could say in game, oh, avoid this person, but like, is that really that toxic compared to what people are doing and saying? No, I don't think so. A super cool thing I would love as well. I'm just kind of spitballing ideas here. We go into profile, we go into career, we go into stats. We go into league rankings, and you can see the top 3 presets this player uses. The top 3 presets this player uses. Top 3. And then when you go to friends, you can see the top 3 presets this player uses. You can click to open it up. Same thing, same thing, same thing. You would be able to see your teammates, your friends, the highest rank leaders, because that's the whole thing about, oh, this is on friends still, that's why I was confused. This is the whole thing about like matching pro players and like all of that stuff. I say use their presets, use whatever you want to. It may be like their preset, it's just a simple thing here. You can copy and put it right into your presets. How cool would that be? Spectate friends matches is another idea. I click here and I say, hey, this guy's in a match 1 to 2. It looks pretty close. I'm not going to be playing for a minute. Maybe I'm eating. Spectate match. Boom, I get to go watch his match, see what he's doing.
Battery 40%.
See how he's doing. That would be a ton of fun to be able to just go watch a match. Like this one, they're up by 1 with 7 seconds left. I would love to be able to go hop into that match and just spectate, and it doesn't tell them that I'm there until after the game. Maybe it said, oh, 2 people spectating, something like that. That would be super cool. Main menu, imagine a button like right here. You get to go into here, you go to customize car, and there's like a little star right here, or maybe there's a star right here or something. And when you press the star, you can have up to 3 stars. Those 3 stars are your presets right here. You just can click to Fennec, or maybe if I click a different star, it shows me this car, right? I just press the button and it switches through the stars, right? And those would be my top 3 presets. And they wouldn't have to have the names here or anything. You know what the presets are. There's 3 buttons. You get to pick 3, and you can just swap between them really easily rather than having to go through here and shift through 1,000 times and be like, oh, not this one. Oh, I can't find it right now. That'd be a super cool button. And maybe you could even put it at the end of the as end lobby screen. Super good idea, super simple to implement. I would love this next idea. If I go in and I want to say, hey, I love these Reapers. How would they look in game? There's a button right here that says test in free play. You press free play, you press this button, it throws you into free play with the item on your car. How cool would that be? I don't know how many of you guys have done this. I'm in the boat where I was scared to buy an item, so I didn't buy it. And maybe I regretted it, or maybe I completely forgot about it because I was worried how it would feel in game. Or maybe I've bought an item and I was like, dang, this item feels like trash in game. I'm never gonna use it again, right? We've all done that. However, that scares us from purchasing new items, right? So I purchased an item, I didn't use it. So I tell myself in this game, I'm only gonna use Octane and Fennec. I'm never gonna purchase a new item. If you let me test them, I might actually buy it now. I think that's a really important button to have. Don't let them go. Obviously, you shouldn't be able to go Q ranked or go Q casual, but be able to be thrown in free play. And now I got blue Reapers on, or now I can test a new goal explosion to see what it looks like in game rather than just their cinematic. Oh, cool, new goal explosion, right? That would be awesome. Someone brought up a great point. You should be able, if you go to the majors or worlds and actually show up in person, you should be 100% get an item in game to show that off. And there should be items like that that are very unique. Maybe you go on a special tour of, I don't know, let's just say Epic Games headquarters for Rocket League. You should get a cool item for that, like a code in game, they give you an item. Worlds should do the same thing. If I go to Worlds, I should get a really like unique item to itself, right? I spent my money to go watch the games, and yes, I had a blast, but how cool would it be to come home from there with a unique item? And it was Texas, put some bullhorns on my car. I don't really care. RLCS with bullhorns, how cool would that be? Or just something, you get my point. Give the player base something for traveling and going to and supporting your community. And that's not even that hard to do. And I'm serious, it's really not that hard to do. Or if you make an item like this, just give it to them. Just give the player an item like this. Like, it's $10 and I spent whatever on tickets, travel, all of that stuff, room, board, food, to go see your specific thing. I should get a cool item in game. And I'm not trying to be entitled, but how cool would that be? You get to flex that you went to Worlds and people would be like, oh cool, you got to go to Worlds just based off of an item in game. So cool. Now with that said, the pros that win Worlds, and I agree, this is kind of comes from League, should get to design a decal. Handmade decal. And I'm not saying go have Monkey Moon sit there and paint tool like this and say, oh, this is how I would want the item. Don't have him sit there like this and be like, oh yeah, I want the Fennec looks like this, right? Something like that. And then I want me. And then this is not put into game. But have them sit there with a graphic artist and design their own decal, and he gets to sign it, and you could buy that decal or buy the I don't know, just something like that, and then have it with a pack. So he designs a decal, and then there's a goal explosion with his signature across. How cool would that be? These are such simple ideas. You score a goal and Monkey Moon's signature goes across the screen and like fizzles out or something. That would be so sick. That would be so cool, right? Right? I would love that. He has his own decal, and maybe some of the decals are pretty ass. They're not best. They're not supposed to be the best graphic artists in the world, or the best Rocket League players in the world, but they'll sit with graphic artists to make something at least look pretty cool where the player at least likes it. That doesn't mean the whole community is gonna love it. And then a signature at the end on a goal explosion, so cool. That would be so fun, so clean. And I'd also reward them in game. I mean, obviously they get this super cool title and the earnings, but give them something a little bit more. Really encourage their player base to be competitive. I don't know. Another idea that I'm throwing out. This map was amazing. This map was super cool. Do you see the map that I'm in? I'll go into it here. Map was amazing. And I think this is one of the best maps that I've played in since I started this game, or that was added in since I started this game. Now with that said, force the players to play on it in game, in RLCS. Why? Because you should be proud of the work that you put out, so make them use it. Yes, they get to select a map pool, and that's totally fine, and the players get to pick the other 6 maps. Have game 2 on this thing though. This is such a cool looking map. This would be such a cool thing to showcase at Worlds, and I don't think anybody appreciates that. You hear the ambience of the maps while you're in Worlds. Imagine how cool it would be to hear like crickets and stuff like that, and frogs while you're loading into the game in Worlds, or even while you're watching Worlds. It would be so cool. And like, instead of coming out of like the way they do the cinematic entry, like what if we made like a cinematic intro where you're like flying over the lake into the stadium? Or what if you come out of the forest, like you start back in the edge of the forest, and then it comes out and shows like the whole Rocket League field in the middle of a forest? There's so many cool ideas. And again, this is a cool map. What showcasing your map also does is it forces accountability. Because what if on a map like this, that they forced RLCS players and spectators to like watch a map? Let's use a really bad map for an example. Like this one is way too bright. Let's find that Neo Fields one, that one that's like atrocious. I remember my friend showed me this one and I was like laughing. It was so bad. This one's really bad. This one is really bad. Imagine like using this, and if you like this map, power to you, but it's also really hard to see what's going on. I think they fixed a little bit of the lighting. My point is though, imagine using a map like this and the RLCS players meme you for having to or make them use this map, and then the crowd like makes fun of you. It then forces accountability. It says, yes, this wasn't our best work. Next season we got you guys, right? Showcase their work. The company has to be proud of their work if they're showcasing it. There's no ifs, ands, or buts, right? RoCkEt League could release a horrible map next season, and you know what people would do? Nothing. They'd just say, oh, regular RoCkEt League season, let's keep grinding. And the small changes that they have made is what I'm gonna say right now is they made the boost meter. We'll just go to a replay really fast. We're kind of getting close to the end of this video here. This boost meter is pretty cool, okay? See the little circle there? It can be done better. How I would do this is make it like a health bar like most games. So completely remove this orange banner across the screen. You don't see my name, you don't see the orange, you don't see anything, and it's a health bar above my screen, but for my teammate, right? Because it's not just for me, it's not for me, it's for my teammate. It's a health bar above the screen, just like Overwatch or like League, not League, but Overwatch would be perfect. And then below your car would be a name that's like transparent. You don't have this big brick of an orange thing. It's just your name's below it, nice and easy to see, transparent between the letters, and you know. But then also have a setting where I can go here and I can go into gameplay, and I say, just like FPS have, like Overwatch and Valorant have, where I can highlight my teammates in specific colors and my opponents in specific colors. So it would highlight the outside of their cars, so you wouldn't have a hard time seeing your teammates or your opponents, but you could also see their health bar, which would be their boost. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. Yes, I like started really grinding the game before this boost meter was in, but I still don't really look at it much unless my teammate's like in the air and I'm like, okay, like, am I gonna rotate out or rotate in? But it's really, I don't really use it a ton. I don't know if you guys do. If you guys do, great. But I think it'd be much better as a health bar, name down here, highlight your car, highlight their car. And then same thing for them. I don't think you need this necessarily if you're highlighting their car. You just get their name under their car and it's highlighted. And maybe you can, and make it a choice too. If maybe I love how this is, maybe I love how this looks. Great. Make a setting so I can keep it, or make a setting so I can change everything else. Make settings so it's like customizable. I mean, good lord, like the buttons, I could do anything I want. And I'll show you what I mean by that. You guys see how my controller's not plugged in? If I move my mouse forward, it shoves my camera up, but it also drives my car forwards. If I turn my mouse left, it forces my camera left, but I also drive left. Like, I can do anything I want in the settings. Give me some choices with other things. Like, this is the dumbest thing I've ever seen. But like, if I move my mouse left, it turns my camera left and my car left. Like, there's some really crazy things you could do with settings. The game just doesn't give you the option. And then as for the toxicity in the community, it's really bad. There's a few things that can be done to fix toxicity. And one is have 1 or 2, 3 members dedicated to a team to fix toxicity. If somebody goes and says, somebody could tell me multiple horrible things that people have and change one letter in each word that might get them banned, and they wouldn't get banned. And if I just said, hey, fuck you, don't be mean, or if I said, hey, stop fucking saying that stuff, who gets banned? Me, because I cussed. Not because that person said it. And if I go and report this person, I'm not going to actually report them, but if I go and report and say, text harassment, and like submit, nothing's going to happen because they've changed slight names or numbers. And then if I also go here, I don't really remember any of these players, but if I go and report and I say, not cheating necessarily, but let's say he was match throwing and griefing, or maybe he was intentionally idle. Do you know what happens with these reports? They get thrown in the trash can. They literally get thrown in the trash can. There's nothing done about them whatsoever. They need to have devs that are specifically looking into games, and have it so whoever's reporting also has a number of reports. So if I go and report 500 people, they're just gonna be like, okay, like he's just obviously being annoyed and he's abusing the report button, so let's ban him instead. I'm totally cool with that, because then I'm wasting resources on the devs end. Versus maybe I've reported one person in the last 30 days, and they're like, okay, like this is something to look at, and they open it up and this person was AFK, this person was saying the meanest things without cussing, and it's like, okay, we'll actually do something because there's someone live looking at it. Now that said, leaving / AFKing is not punished enough in this game. I can go into a casual match and leave, sure, fine. If I leave in a ranked match, what's the timer? It's 5 minutes? What the hell? I could go to the bathroom, grab some water, and I'll be back before my ban's over. For the first time, sure. For the second time, it's 10 minutes. For the third time, is it 20, 15, something like that? 20 minutes, 15 minutes, 30 minutes. It goes up per day, and then it resets the next day. Make it so it goes up in increments throughout the season. So if I leave day 1 of the season, my next leave is going to be 10 minutes no matter what. My third leave in the season is going to be, let's say, 20 minutes. And if I get to, let's say I leave 10 matches in a season, I am done with ranked for that season. I am not allowed to queue ranked. And if I quit in games, and if I have that same, maybe I rage quit in the game, maybe I just go like this as soon as I, like, we're down, let's say we're down 1, and I do this. It treats you the same way. And the devs look at it and say, hey, you know what? We're gonna ban you for 5 minutes on your first queue. So when I press the queue up button, it says 5-minute timer, bing, 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 bing. And then once the 5-minute timer is over, then I can queue. And then if I do this again in another game, when it's completely winnable, maybe there's like 2 seconds left and you do this. Maybe there's a minute left and you're down 18. Like, sure, do this. And have the dev look at it, and then you get the same thing. And if you do this instead of rage quitting, then they go in here and say, okay, you want to queue this? Great, you've queued, and it says 10-minute ban, and then it'll start queuing you at the end of the 10-minute ban. I don't know. Well, that would fix a whole lot of issues, though, and I know that for a fact with this game, because toxicity is a huge issue in this game. Those are my ideas. I've been trying to get this video out for a while. Again, I've had a stuffy nose. I also was sick, and I was at World, so I haven't posted in a long time, so here we are. And I will say this too, I really don't say any of this because I hate this game. I say this all because I like it. There's no hatred at all towards this video game. I think it's one of the most fun games out there. And I want you guys to really think about, all of these things are pretty small. They're all like things you increment over time. Like, let's say making the next season just makes sense. Easy. And you can say, like, well, the ectoplasm with these mysterious monsters in the forest make sense, Beach. And it's just like, what are you saying to me right now? I'm playing car soccer. Why does that make sense to you? Like, I get the, like, campfires on your car because, like, a camp theme or, like, a wilderness theme. But when you start saying, like, ectoplasm monsters, look at those tires. It's, like, yin and yang signs because monsters. And it's just, like, what are you talking about, bro? Oh my god, again, that's an easy thing you implement next season. Testable items in free play, pretty simple to implement. Top 3 presets, pretty simple to implement. And I'm not super advanced in coding. I took a couple of coding classes, but I do know with the way this works is you just name this, make a little star here, and then it can just be an icon right there. And if you don't have any of your starred yet, it's just empty icons. It's not that hard. Having a void teammate button up here, wow, that's really difficult. It's not that hard. Again, this is why I'm saying all of this stuff. It can be easily fixed. As for the my last thing too, removing trading was kind of bonkers in my opinion, because I mean, it makes sense on a business side, but it also doesn't make sense on your like consumer side of like people buying items and trading items and wanting to buy stuff, you know, kind of that kind of stuff. This is ass. I don't know what the fuck this is, and I have probably 200 of them, and I just don't care to open them because I don't want another set of sunray booster like burnout trail. I don't know. Items, I thought about items for a while, but it's like, okay, like also how do you make items cool? The problem is items aren't cool anyway in this game, but also like how do you make the item system feel good? That's a tough one. I'm not too sure how you would do that based on not wanting to trade anymore. I don't know. That's something that I would have to think about if anybody has ideas for that. But that's pretty much my video. Again, just to recap, a lot of it is quality of life. It's some of the stuff was to bring old players back, which is what you need. It's a game that everybody's played. Everybody's played Rocket Leaguers and knows that Rocket League wouldn't be their game. It hasn't played Rocket League. If you get those players to come back to Rocket League, you're gonna get new players no matter what. That's just how it goes. If everybody starts coming back to Rocket League, everybody's gonna be like, well, why are they coming back to Rocket League? Let me try it. It's just like, duh. It's a no-brainer. Quality of life stuff, super, super simple. As for me, I will be coaching in my Discord. You guys can join that. I will be posting videos of 1s, 2s, 3s. I will be posting educational content along the lines of if you guys give me ideas. As for the LCS Open Qual team, I would love you guys if somebody could reach out, and even if it was like, hey Beach, I know how to apply 2 teams, but you have to do it yourself. Like, sure, fine, just show me where. I would love that. I'd appreciate it so much. I think that's everything. As for Rocket League right now, I'm going to quit the game, and I'll be back tomorrow to play it more. No, but seriously, in all seriousness, I don't see myself quitting. Oh, and funny enough, I also stream the game still daily. Everybody's like, no way, Beach still streams Rocket League. I stream this, I wouldn't say daily. I stream it 4 to 5 days a week. I am Pacific Standard Time, and I stream it at 4 p.m. roughly. No, 5 p.m. That's a lie. 5 p.m. to like 7:30. I'm gonna be streaming it every other day ish, maybe a little bit more, maybe a little bit less, depending on how I feel. Valorant will be in the morning. Rocket League will be at night. That's pretty much it for me, guys. That's, again, if you have ideas, if you have some ideas for me for videos, whatever you guys got, I would love to hear it. Much love. I'll see you guys soon. Peace.